Good morning. It's Michelle over at heskethemporium.com and Hesketh Emporium Handmade. We've got a little Bernina707 Minimatic today, a vintage sewing machine, to show you how to wind a bobbin. Now, this machine is serial number indicates that she was made in 1967. And so that makes her a little old girl. And I tell you what, this girl, her name is Beata, by the way, is a dream of a little machine to sew with. And if I was given the choice of this and any of my more modern machines in my sewing room, I would without a doubt choose this one to sew on. And take your thread. Remember, good quality thread will save you tons of stress. Pop it into this loop at the back of your machine. There is a little loop there that can go through there. Now you wind your bobbin around this little post here. It actually has a spring in there. If you look there, that's a little spring. It goes into that spring and around, so it's in effect crossed over. Now what I do with my threads, I take the bobbin and I pull the thread, push the thread through one of the little holes in the side, if you've got them, obviously, and so it goes in through there and out the top. You place your bobbin onto the spindle. You now have a thread tail sticking up, and that's exactly what I want. Switch your machine on, turn your inner wheel towards you so it disengages the motor which makes the needle go up and down. So now this is going to be able to be turned and the needle won't move. So that's now disengaged. You push your pin across to the right. That engages a wheel inside here with this, and that will allow the bobbin to wind. Hold on to this thread, not too tightly. You don't want to pull the spindle up. You want to just hold it tightly enough so that when it turns, it's actually going to wind. And I let it come back on itself, so it'll go down and then it'll come back up, and then I stop and I snip off the thread as close to the top of the bobbin as you can. You're now ready and okay to carry on with the winding. The reason this goes underneath here and gets twisted is because it applies a good amount of tension to the thread that you're winding onto your bobbin. That gives you the ideal and optimal tightness or tautness to your thread when it comes through the bobbin, and so your tension on your machine will be accurate. If you don't do this properly, then what will happen is you will find tension issues when you're sewing. So we're going to give that a wind on. I'm not going to wind on too much more than that for now, as it's just for display purposes. Right, we've now done that. To disengage, we unengage that spindle by pulling it to your left, and you retighten this. Hold your outer wheel and turn your inner wheel towards the back of you or away from you. That now re-engages the motor, so your machine will sew. Now if you find your machine's not sewing very often, it's because either that is across by mistake, it's been bumped, or this has not been tightened. Snip off your thread and your bobbin is now ready to be used. Take a look here. When you put your nail into it, it's reasonably firm. It's got a tiny little bit of give in it, but it's a nice firmly wound bobbin. If you find your bobbin is too loose, you might have missed crossing over the spindle over this end here, and your tension won't be really that good. So to engage your bobbin, just as a reminder, I'll remove the bobbin case and I will make my bobbin into a P shape. That's how the bobbin case goes into the machine. So I hold it the way it's going to go into the machine, and I simply engage the two together. Push the one into the other, take your thread, put it into the little groove here, and then pull it to your right until it goes underneath that tensioning disc or spring here. That's now ready to go into your machine. So to stop it from falling out, the bobbin falling out the bobbin case, you pull up this tab, hold it like that, and put it into your machine. You are now ready to sew. So one of the things that could go wrong, it's not sewing, is that you've either wound the bobbin incorrectly, it's too loose. Could be that you haven't actually put it in the right way around. It's in a Q shape instead of a P shape. You've forgotten to move this to the back to the left to disengage the bobbin winder, or you've forgotten to tighten this, or you haven't tightened it enough. So those are all things that you can start off with. And then you're ready to wind the thread off and to rethread your machine, ready to sew. I hope that's helped you. This is Michelle signing off from HeskethEmporium.com. Have a fabulous day. Bye.